Speakers, greetings Alliance, and holy moly, we've more than quadrupled our initial sub count in under a week. You guys are super awesome for that. Thank you everyone for all of your support to the channel so far. I honestly didn't expect the multiverse video to blow up like it did, and I'm reading all your corrections and info I might have missed to make an even better one when it drops in the future. Additionally, I want to thank everybody who posted questions in the Q&A I set up. I read all your questions and even ones on the follow-up post. So for the Skibidi community, this one's for you. Let's celebrate and answer your questions together. Okay, so our first question is, how do you feel about the current state of the analysis community right now? I think the analysis community is in an okay spot right now. I can confidently say it's not dying anytime soon, especially with the new books being released and all the future merch we have yet to see. I know Boom is taking up to 2 months to make a new episode, but he has never failed to deliver a quality Skibidi Toilet episode to date, with the quality and storytelling always improving as we move forward into the series. But that hasn't halted interest as much as people think. Yes, we have lost a few big channels like Moby retiring and Elite Cameraman's sudden return and disappearance. But channels like Iron Cameraman, EBO and many more are still raking in hundreds of thousands of views weekly, engaging with the community and squeezing more leaks out of Boom, even helping him secure the future of the franchise himself. No, seriously, EBO and many more are doing their best to expose the Next Level app's second fraudulent attempt to take Skibidi Toilet away from not only Boom and Invisible Narratives, but us as the community, and I dread to think about the tsunami of copyright strikes or worse if they won the lawsuit. So please, for the future of this series, watch EBO and Plunge's videos and spread awareness of this. Even with my small and growing audience, as a content creator, it's one of my duties to use this platform to inform you and remind you about these topics. I apologise for the small tangent, but this is a very important moment for the franchise. The most we can do is keep supporting Boom and Invisible Narratives fight against Next Level apps, and I believe as a community we will overcome and laugh about it later. But back on topic. What other fan series have you watched? Right now I'm keeping up with Maxidy's Saga and with Valance's War universes. Other universes like Monster Up Zombieverse and Dom Studios Multiverse I haven't watched in a couple months. And any others like Lock-In and Dark Zone I'm not too familiar with. I will rewatch and cover all of them eventually, but that's not going to be for a while, as I've got a massive backlog of theories and ideas I need to push out. I won't discuss my thoughts of them now, as I'd like to save that for my future analysis of the series, but if they perform anything like my last video did, I could shuffle things around a bit. Next question. Why are the Speakermen your favourite faction, and is the colour theory video over 30 minutes long? Well, aside from the speaker base telling we're the best, in my opinion, the speakers just have more character than the cameras and TVs, allowing them more opportunities to express themselves and allowing the audience to form a deeper connection with them. They are the most emotional alliance race so far, with them having the most impactful and badass moments throughout the show. I also took this into consideration when I was first thinking of starting this channel. I was originally going to use a TV man instead, but I swapped to a speaker man as there was a severe lack of speakerman content creators among the host of camera and TV ones, so I thought it helped me stand out a bit more. As for the colour theory video, it will likely be over 30 minutes with how many different topics and theories it will cover, so stay tuned for that. Moving on, what things are you hoping will and won't happen in the official series? That's a tough one. But if I had to pick 3 from each, I would want to see an internal conflict between the alliance races, like an actual one, like falling out and stuff. I would also like to see Plunger Woman stop acting like Plunger Man, as it's only been a detriment to the camera base ever since she started acting like that. And finally, I want to see more interactions between the humans and the new alliance of the Skibidis. And as for things I don't want to happen, I don't want Titan TV Man to die. I believe he's got a redemption arc after he's been uninfected, and he would finally understand Titan Speaker Man's pain. In doing so, he will become an even better Titan than before. I also don't want there to be too much gooning in the series and leaks. Boom was already pushing his luck in episode 76, if you know, and in my opinion it's not appropriate to do this with such a wide and impressionable audience. I'm okay if it's subtle, but a lot of them have been too in your face and are hard not to notice. And finally, I don't want the Astro to simply be defeated after their invasion of Earth. I want them to come back with more advanced and different technologies and alien races. After all, they've been around for an eternity, Boom says. Next question. Have I ever thought of making my own race, and who's my favourite speaker man? To be honest, I haven't thought of a new race because I don't think Skibidi Toilet needs more. After the computer men inevitably show up, I think that would be enough for the series. Boom already has a lot of concepts and plot lines developing in the background, and he's doing a brilliant job of managing all of it by himself. Adding more doesn't necessarily mean it will get better after all. But if I had to create one for fun... Well, I can't really think of a technology right now, but I would make them stand out. I would like a race where the Titan isn't the most powerful unit they have. Instead, it fills a more supportive role, with their armies and auxiliary units doing most of the fighting instead. Their Titan's strength, meanwhile, would be supporting their army or the other alliance races in the back line, with healing or maintaining the logistical flow needed for the front line, similar to what Mothra does in the Godzilla universe. My favourite speaker man, however, it has to be the driving speaker man. This guy has survived the entire Skibidi War and continues to do so by simply outdriving the opposition. And I'm sure if the Astros blew up Earth, he'd be on his way to Astroworld to write a formal complaint to whoever was in charge. Pablo? Wait, who's Pablo? Oh, that guy from 78. I don't think I've seen him or met him in the speaker base before. He suddenly appeared in 78. I pray for his safety if speaker base decides to launch an investigation. I doubt he'll be seen again if they get hold of him. But anyway, who's stronger, Titan TV Man or Titan Cameraman? Time to start a war in the comments. If I had to say one of them, then it would be Titan Cameraman. He's extremely tanky, can deal powerful hits with his hammer, and is observant and deliberate with his actions in combat. There's a reason he was the most occurring character in the series. But he's slow and often holds back when he doesn't need to. TV Titan on the other hand has a lot more tricks up his sleeve, has the potential to red screen Titan Cameraman, and is overall more lightweight. But he does get frustrated easily and is overconfident in his abilities, which could lead to his downfall if he rushes in without thinking and gets his TV screen broken. I will go a lot deeper into it, but that will require its own video entirely. Like Boom said, it depends on who uses their potential the most, and in my opinion, Camera Titan has that experience and restraint to deal with TV Titan if he plays his cards right. You can explain why you think TV Titan is better in the comments below. Welcome back. So we return with what's your favourite fan-made series? At the moment it's Maxidy's. Its unique art style may differ from the rest, but with how Maxidy has written the characters, it's opened so many possibilities for expanding the original cast from the official series, with some of the names in that show becoming fan-on names used throughout the whole Skibidi community. It's safe to say, I'm invested for the long run. I'm not entirely sure where we're going with Skibalius and the TV men being related to the Astros, but I appreciate the twist and I'll let him cook. But one question did catch my eye in particular. They asked me about 3 speaker men appearing in my video with some text. Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. When I sent my video off to Sector 4 for review, they said it was fine, so I just uploaded it. Speaker Base loves us and I love them too, so I see no reason for them to interfere with my videos. Next up, what's a weapon you'd like to see a character in the series wield? I was going to say whips for some of the speakers, as they could create sonic booms of that crap, but Duchess has one instead. I think chakarams would be pretty cool, like imagine Chad Cameraman throws his energy ring to decapitate Astros or something like that. It's an absurd concept, but it sounds pretty cool. Or just more chemical and elemental weapons like acid. Acid was a major threat in the Skibidi War, and hasn't resurfaced since, and I think it'd be cool if acid could melt through the Astros' heavy armour, and create weak points for the energy weapons. And speaking of, why don't we have any electrical or lightning based weapons? Imagine zapping groups of Astros out of the sky with chain lightning or something like that. That'd be super cool. The final one should just be regular ballistic weapons like guns. The TV men have used guns before to destroy assets or glasses, but never for combat. I don't know. It may be of creator choice or for some lore reason, I don't know. But the fact is, if dark guns can work against Skibidis, what's stopping 45 ACP or a sharpened plunger from getting through their thick skin? What's your opinion on Lingang Melon? Guys, I said we should keep this to Skibidi and channel content only, but I guess we did quadruple the sub count, so let it slide. What the f is this? If you think this is the next Skibidi toilet, you're wrong. This is Skibidi toilet without the Alliance, and the government for some reason is experimenting on watermelons, with the secret agent counter not being very secret. For now, no comments. Maybe it will take off, maybe it won't. I wish the creators good luck either way. And finally, we have 3 last questions. What is your opinion on each Alliance Titan? Well, obviously Speaker Titan is the best, glory to Speaker Base. He's arguably the most mature and has lived through the most out of all the Titans, and is still misunderstood quite a bit, biases aside. He was the first Titan who underwent an infection, losing control of both his mind and body, with him ultimately bearing all the guilt and grief afterwards. Something Titan TV Man once mocked him for, and is now learning the hard way. But instead of buckling under the weight of his emotions, he gets up and goes to redeem himself instead, redirecting those emotions and converting into pure anger as a potent weapon against the Skibidis, with his fighting style relying more on his speed and manoeuvrability to find weak points and punish them, which requires its own unique strategy rather than close-up brawling like the other Titans. That being said, he is the smallest and most fragile, and can often get carried away with his emotions like Titan TV Man, which can leave them open for attacks. Moving on to Camera Titan, in my opinion he is the wisest and most noble member of the trio. He has always shown great care and trust for his allies regardless of race, even diverting the Astro's attention in 74 for the safety of his allies. It's no wonder the Alliance members had peace of mind whenever he was around. During combat, he's always been very observant and deliberate with his actions, which has protected him from getting tricked and allowed him to turn dire situations into opportunities instead. But with this level of caution, there is also restraint, which has often held him back from major victories, but I'm sure we'll see him push himself beyond and stop holding himself back once he returns. And now we get on to Titan TV Man. He's the youngest and arguably the most confident and capable of the trio. The TV's technology never disappoints, with their Titan possessing a well-rounded and flexible kit for both brawling and ranged engagements, with a few extra tricks he can use to surprise opponents. While at first he was arrogant and underestimated his fellow Titans, he did grow to love them alongside the rest of the Alliance after fighting alongside them. But even still, his arrogance remained, and believed he could solo anyone that opposed him, making him pick fights he really shouldn't have at times. And just like Titan Speaker Man, he too gets frustrated easily and has made rash decisions in the heat of combat. I don't need to elaborate more as I've already made a video explaining his flaws and how it led to him becoming the Watchman. Overall, the Titans are a pretty flexible bunch. We have the lightweight but ranged Titan Speaker Man, which complements the heavy but deadly close quarters king that is Titan Cameraman, and the TV Titan sits nice in the middle of being a balance of both parties, and more thanks to TV's technology. And if they work together as a team, they could overcome the greatest threats and armies easily, unlike what happened in 73. But moving on, how do you think the Alliance got the Astro Ring technology? Personally, I think they got the technology from the Skibidi base after acquiring the Skibidi scientist research. A lot of technology and units during the Skibidi war were based off the Astro's fleet and technology, so I can imagine him integrating rings into the army so they can build more powerful energy weapons, with propulsion rings coming later down the line if the war dragged on for that long. And finally, will I do character analysis in the future? Yes, I do want to do individual character analysis at some point, but it won't be for a while. I do agree with Boom that Plunger and Duchess are severely misunderstood in the ways they acted, and I'm afraid by the time I get round to it, it would have been covered by other content creators or revealed by Boom himself. Like I've said, I've got quite a backlog of content I want to make before I cover characters individually, also because we are just getting into the second character arcs for most of the special agents and titans. But if there is a demand, I'll take it into consideration.
Hello everyone, and oh boy, Boom. Couldn't have picked a worse time to drop more leaks. The Critical Speaker Man was just about to drop this video, and then catastrophe happened, and you'll never guess what, guys. He rage quit production, and told me to finish it instead. So me, ISO Speaker, will go over these leaks for you right now. So get your tea and snacks ready, and prepare to give this video a like and subscribe to ISO Speaker channel, where I make a lot of Skibidi analyzing content whilst we're waiting for the next part from Boom. Okay, so if you're subscribed now, let's continue. So we have 7 total leaks to cover. We have 2 secret messages and a sentence spelled out across 5 of the 7 images. These 5 images create the sentence, "You can't escape impending doom," which is referring to the Watchman, of course. And for the 2 secret messages, they are both on the special agent's own leaks. Camera Woman has the sentence, "My fault, it's always my fault." This is likely referring to her attempts to mimic Plunger Man. But Plunger Man, in my opinion, was a maverick who only did those things to bolster confidence in the cameraman. And such daring tactics should not be employed from an actual leader like Plunger Woman. And to be honest, guys, I think it's her fault. Yeah, I said that. She chased her dream of living up to her once fiancé Plunger Man, but she only woke up into the living nightmare she could have prevented if she didn't launch a counterattack in 77 after the tragic losses in episode 76. And the large TV's sentence is speculated to say, "Nothing ever goes according to plan," which could be related to the Astro specialist sneaking in with him to the camera base, and after that, they were doomed. To be honest, it's a very broad statement considering the situation the camera base and the Alliance as a whole is in. But we'll have to wait and see what plan he was referring to. Now for the actual leaks. The first one, we see a large cameraman looking at the speaker point of view, but behind him lies the Hunter mutant from 78, who has returned repaired and ready to hunt down the rest of the forces inside with Astro specialists. The next spoiler is a shot of the now ruined camera base, but there are two massive antennas emitting blue energy. My theory is that they are used for dire situations when the base is about to be destroyed, and is now calling all available Alliance forces to the base. I have another theory, but we'll get to that later. Our next leak is of the camera woman, now kneeling from defeat and shame. What's concerning is two of her cannons are now aimed for her head. But why? Either the Watchman's TV screens are manipulating her to do so, or she is doing it to not get captured alive, or is too ashamed to go on after what's happened to the camera base. But guys, rest assured, I would never let that happen to my beloved speaker woman. Following that leak is a shot of an Obliterator Astro who is about to open fire on the base. We can see what looks to be Scarfy from Part 1, now among the rubble and what could be the remains of a large cameraman. But guess what, guys? We got a leak of Duchess, and she's hitting the Michael Jackson aura farming pose on top of the camera base. She also has a slick new pair of claws that look awfully similar to the ones Titan TV Man once had on his back. But anyway, Duchess is being shot with blue energy, and she has appeared to take some damage in the process. Her core, meanwhile, doesn't seem to be affected very much, as she is charging her eye lasers like in 76. But remember those antennas earlier? My other theory is that they could be a secret weapon of sorts, and I have a feeling that her standing between the two is a bad idea. She could get seriously hurt by something like the base exploding from the core overloading itself. Or the antennas could release a massive MP blast to disable all technology before the Alliance reinforcements arrive. The second to last leak is of the large TV man, and oh boy, he looks beaten up. We can also spot a large cameraman and a camera scientist in the background. My guess for why he's so beaten up is that he teleported some survivors away to a safe area, but sustained heavy damage in the process. Boom has hinted we will be losing important characters for a while, and I hope it isn't this Giga Chad. But if you want him to survive, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel where I make Skibidi analyzing content whilst we're waiting for the next part from Boom. Okay, so if you're subscribed now, let's continue. And lastly, we have the final image of the redesigned Watchman of Doom. Overall, from this close-up, he looks pretty similar, which is a testament to how good Deer from Ohio's designs are. The only discernible change is that he has some new technology within his TV head. And to be honest, guys, we all know what's going to happen based on these leaks we got, so I won't speak on the leaks anymore. And this was all I have for you today. Write in the comments about what I told you, and be sure to subscribe to keep updated whilst we wait for the new episode from Boom. And that was me, ISO Speaker. See ya!
Apologies for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're satisfied with my responses to your questions. The support and sub growth again has been mental over the past weeks. I'm so happy you guys enjoy my content so much. My next video should be the colour theory video now this is out of the way, or the 79 part 2 analysis if that drops before. In the meantime, you guys are awesome, so remember to stay critical, Alliance, and I'll see you next time.